In central Gaza, a young girl carries her little sister on her back, one foot wrapped in bandages. She was hit by a car and cannot walk.
I am going to our shed. I am very tired. I have been carrying her for an hour and cannot walk any longer.
Barefoot, exhausted, and alone on the side of the road. The offer of a ride back to the refugee camp where they live from a stranger. At any other time, it might be a parent's worst nightmare. But for a child living through a war, it is a small relief. In southern Gaza, Israel keeps up its war on civilians in tents. A drone strike on Mawasi in Khan Yunis killed or injured more displaced civilians. So-called safe zones, Palestinians say, are lies.
Is this a safe humanitarian zone? All lies. A tent housing displaced civilians was targeted and innocent people inside killed.
My son Mossab was killed, but was not alone. Bara, only 2.5 years, was killed too. What wrong did this innocent child do? Was he a fighter, a general, an army officer? For what crime this innocent boy was killed? May God punish all the Arab and world leaders. They stand silent, doing nothing, while watching us slaughtered.
Nowhere is safe in the Gaza Strip, but right now, nowhere is more dangerous than northern Gaza, under Israeli siege for more than 2 weeks. Scenes in Jabalia after Israeli artillery hit a group of people leaving the area. All seemingly civilians trying to collect water for the journey. Most of the victims are children. What is happening in the north is nothing short of a campaign of elimination, masquerading as a so-called evacuation.
We have been through an endless series of displacement. On every journey we were faced with grave dangers, but today's were the worst.
Palestinians in northern Gaza describe scenes of terror. Quadcopters filling the sky, drones with machine guns and missiles overhead, loudspeakers blasting messages over hospitals and shelters. And the message is clear: get out or face certain death. Everyone here has lost something or someone, running with their lives and little else. From one hospital or shelter to the next, from one Israeli attack to the next, with no end to the war in sight. Zain Basravi, Al Jazeera.
Genocide. Noun. The systematic killing of substantial numbers of people on the basis of their ethnicity, religion, political beliefs, social status, or other particularities. Genocide. Verb. To commit genocide against, to eliminate, a group of people completely.
As to the origin of the present Jews in Palestine, he states that those Jews derived from Eastern Europe, and many of the Jews that today live in the reconstituted state of Israel come from Eastern Europe, are not descendants of the Judeans or the lost tribes of Israel, but rather descendants of the Khazars. Who are they? They were a nation most people do not even know of. He writes, the so-called self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe in modern history cannot legitimately point to a single ancient ancestor who ever set even a foot on the soil of Palestine in the era of Bible history. Research also revealed that the so-called or self-styled Jews in Eastern Europe were never Semites, are not Semites now, nor can they ever be regarded as Semites at any future time by any stretch of the imagination. What secret, mysterious power has been able for countless generations to keep the origin and the history of the Khazars and the Khazar kingdom out of the history textbooks? Did you ever learn about it at school? I never learned about it. And out of classroom courses in history throughout the world, the origin and the history of Khazars and the Khazar kingdom are certainly incontestable, historical.